What's going on, everybody? Here I am, road tripping with Artie. I kind of want to take a few minutes to give you my take off the sleeve. And excuse me if the thought isn't completely put together. Everybody's trying to make sense of this. But it's that whole Epstein file. It's nothing. A group of people pretty much being called a basket of deplorables again. And then the president walking that backwards. However, as upset as I am about the Epstein file going away, you have to pick your battles. And when you have a few different choices of what you can knock out, but a shortened period of time, you have to really have an order of priorities. With that being said, as well, you have some supposedly only 200,000 children that are missing. I believe the number is far north of that. You know, people like to spew out the official number all the time. But it was chaos, pandemonium. What about the kids from before? What about the kids after? What about the ones that came through in tunnels that we don't even know about? Kills me. Alright, so when you have the choice between the two, and trust me, they're going to take up a lot of your time. Do you go after the kids that need saving right now? Or do you find justice for the people that you don't have all the victims? J.P. Morgan, believe it or not, has already paid out a settlement worth $365 million to the victims that had been forward about this whole situation. That's $365 million. They paid for Epstein, who owned banks, who was incredibly rich, among the top of the elite. He did so by being a fraudster. He was a scumbag. There's no question about it. He was involved in everything from blackmail to drug running to gun running to smuggling, all of these things. However, in this country as we speak, we have kids that are missing, and we keep finding them. They're in slave-type labor, where they're getting paid peanuts to do day labor, like that men do. Alright? You have, and that was that weed farm that was out in California, just, that's me speaking a situation that brought forward to the public, and that's a huge case. But think about how smothered that's been by this whole Epstein bullshit, the cover-up. I don't think it's much of a cover-up as you have to pick your battles. Now, he made a promise to fix the economy, push along the bill. There are a lot of people that are on that list that voted for that bill. Alright? Not only that, too, currently you have a conspiracy trial that's being built on the coup of America. What does that mean? Well, that means that lawfare is going to consume a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of thought, a lot of face time. You can't have these two high-profile cases going at one another. Now, put yourself in Trump's shoes. He's had this file that has had 4 years of manipulation by the two of every single pedo case that you can imagine. But the thing about the Epstein file is it's so much deeper. And the big players that are on that list are going to be tied together in this conspiracy case. There's going to be a special counsel brought forward. Former CIA directors that, started this as early as 2014. Brenner with Obama. Clapper. Those are the big wigs, the Susan Rices of the world. The people that actually hate America. They hate what it stands for. They want to uproot and change it. And we saw what that change was that we were promised in 2008, right? I hope this is starting to make a little bit more sense to you. We're trying to do good things. We want freedom here in this country, right? That being said, I know that there are so many names on that list. So many different pedos. So many children that need to be identified. But how are you going to put together a list of people you have to go get when you take all 14 terabytes that Pam Bondi said that she extrapolated from the Southern District of New York FBI field office, and then distribute that to every single field office in America for people to volunteer to watch children getting raped by the elite. Then you have to put together a list of these people's names. We already know what happened to the people that mess with the Clintons. We already know how powerful the reach of people like them and Bill Gates are. These are powerful people, and they're not going to let their agenda get effed up by something that they can control. I talked about this yesterday in a men's health video. There are things that are outside your control. There's things inside your control, and that's something that's outside of our control or anything that we would be able to handle. But it's certainly not outside their control, and it's not as hard as you would think for them to be able to just say, yeah, take care of that for me. So, if you think that an FBI field agent is going to volunteer their family's well-being to prosecute these types of people, like the King of England, the same deep state that we talk about, who killed Seth Rich. That's still a question. Who killed Seth Rich? So it just shows you how deep the reach is for some of these players. So when it comes to Trump, he has to pick his battles. He has to pick them wisely. Yes, I understand that there are victims out there, and there are a ton of children that they need justice. I would agree. But I'm not going to deny the children that are here in this country that are without their families, that have been separated, that are being forced to work in sex slavery and sex labor and in fields until 14-hour days. This isn't a tinfoil cap situation. Tom Homan's doing great things with ICE. And he's rescuing a lot of children. That should be all over the news. He's holding sincerely deep on his promises. And if you were to ask me who an MVP is, Tom Homan, you're right there in the conversation. To the rest of you, I'll catch you later.